Okay, to make this lovely aubergine fry, you're gonna first of all need some aubergine. So I have the big aubergine that I have chopped into smaller circles like these. Okay, so this should be the proportion of the thickness of your aubergine slice. So I have a lot of these that I have chopped in circular and kept them ready. Lovely. Keep them aside. Now, in a separate plate, take about 2 tablespoonfuls of ginger garlic paste. Okay, so I'm making this for the entire one big aubergine. So depending, now this is the marinade that you're making, so depending on the amount of aubergine you're using, you could increase or decrease, but this is one large aubergine that I'm going to use. Okay, so to this I'm going to add 1 teaspoonful of salt, most important ingredient. Add 1 teaspoonful of turmeric powder, 1 teaspoonful of cumin powder, half a teaspoon to 3/4 teaspoonful of red pepper powder, and 1 teaspoonful of red chili powder, quarter teaspoonful of white pepper powder, and quarter teaspoonful of garam masala powder. Okay, so now before you start mixing this, for each of the circular aubergines that you've chopped, you gotta make some gouges on the aubergine slice because you want the marination to kind of seep through. Now see, I have made the gouges in such a way that they just prick through on this surface. When I turn this around, there's nothing. So do it exactly the way I'm telling you. Don't go pushing it deep inside, because that ways you're going to end up chopping the aubergine slice. Absolutely, it's going to become 2 parts. Okay, that ways I'm just going to do for all. So you can just be a little fast. The objective is just so that the marination seeps in real good, and once the spices are in, tastes brilliant, tastes lovely. So it's important for the marination to seep through. At the same time, like I said, it's important that you don't cut the slice into 2. Ensure that the gouges are just to the pulp and they don't stretch to the outer rim. So actually, this is a brilliant way. It's an Indian recipe, more like a Maharashtrian recipe, and it's made in Bombay or on the coasts of Maharashtra. It tastes lovely. At times, you know, it's eaten as an alternate to your fish fry or any of your chicken or lamb dishes, because it tastes brilliant. All vegetarians relish this dish, including non-vegetarians. It's really simple. You know, you might feel what's so great about this, but hey, it's different. It's original. It started in our restaurant by me, so I clearly know how this has been a big hit. Okay, so that ways I end up finishing all. Okay, I'm just left with a few. Just gonna go about fast. And this is the last one, and I'm done. Okay, so gouges have been made to all my aubergine slices. I'm just going to use my fingers and mix the entire marination really good. Okay, now the reason we use our fingers and not a spoon in this case is because you're making very little amount of the marination, as you see. So you want to ensure that with your fingers you push it into the aubergine slices. So if I were to just take one, okay, take a little of the marinade, spread it brilliantly all across the surface of your aubergine, okay, and place it at the side. I'm going to take another one. Remember, you just try and apply just enough so that it's kind of ensures that the spices go in, most importantly. We don't want it to taste raw and unflavored. We want to ensure that the gauges help to push in the spices. Now this is done on both sides. I'm going to keep this down. Just going to finish doing this side, which I missed. Okay, lovely. Turn it around. So do exactly the same thing for all the aubergine slices, and you know, this is actually eaten with some quick daily dal. So I've posted a video of the daily dal, or you could follow the 10-minute quick daily dal that I just posted yesterday, and it goes brilliantly with those because you're adding spice to this. So you want to ensure that you have something which is a little on the blander side, not too spicy again as the main course, so that you know the spices of this could blend along with your other dishes and you enjoy the entire recipe and the process of eating these. Okay. Now once these are marinated, see, when I'm pasting up the marination on the surface, I'm gonna leave this to marinate for at least 3 to 4 hours, guys. So like I say, best marination is overnight, but if you haven't marinated, you do not have time, at least give it 3 hours, because it's at the end of the day, it's the vegetable pulp that has to kind of soak through the spices. Okay, the best result is if you marinate it at least for 3 to 4 hours. But yet some people ask me, can I just do it for 1 hour? Yes, I would say you can, but it might just taste 80-85% awesome. If you understand what I mean, if you want it to be 100%, you gotta do 100% for it. But again, nothing which is not possible, or nothing that the recipe doesn't allow you to do. You can, absolutely, but you gotta be ready that it's just gonna taste 80% right, because you haven't given it enough time to seep through in. Okay, and the trick to this is, while we marinate and we ensure that our spices are in, after the marination of 3 to 4 hours, we can roll this in some wheat flour, you know, and we will fry this. Now I will tell you how to use the least amount of oil while frying this, and so basically I will show you the trick of eating this delicious fried aubergine, but not consuming a lot of oil and ensuring your taste is intact as well. Isn't that brilliant? You consume less oil and you also have your taste intact. Yes, that's the beautiful part. And that's what you get to learn through these videos, in terms of, you can say, tips, or you could say learnings that I have had for so many years of my chef career, or you could just say secrets, like some of my students call them. But yes, they help, and they've helped me. I'm sure they will help you, for the simple reason that I want to share these tips with you. It's not like a Gandilla's tip box. It's a tip, and you know, anyone who's cooking, if I know something, I'm more than happy to kind of share this with you. Yeah. And once they are fried, another tip is that you have to eat them immediately. So as soon as we get an order for aubergine fry, we fry and serve immediately. While they are marinated, I agree, but they are fried only when we get an order. Because if you fry them and keep them for far too long, they are going to get soggy. Let me warn you, because it's a vegetable pulp. And keeping it for far too long, it will get soggy. And while eating it, you might not have the fun of eating it like a slice. It kind of breaks off and it doesn't give the right flavor, I would say. It's best eaten nice and hot. Okay, so remember to do that. And there you go. I'm towards the end of my marination, where all my slices are beautifully marinated. Lovely. So there you go. I'm going to just leave this to marinate for 3 to 4 hours, and then I'm going to come back and show you how we fry this. So it's been about 3 to 4 hours that my aubergine slices have been marinating. As you see, we kept them. All I have done is, in the same dish, I've taken some flour. Okay, that's some wheat flour. So what I'm going to do is, I have a non-stick pan with about 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil. I'm waiting for the oil to be absolutely hot, and all I'm going to do is, okay, just take one of the slices, drop it into the dry flour, pat it, turn it around so that it gets well covered and the spices don't fall off, and drop it into the oil. That's it. I'm just going to do exactly that for all of the rest. And our aubergine fry slices, which are yummy, are going to be absolutely ready to munch on. These go beautifully as appetizers or as a main course, depending on how you want to serve them. If you want to serve them as appetizers, you could fry them, chop them into 4, and then place them with some tomato ketchup. Lovely. So since they're huge slices, I might just be able to make 4 at a time. But like I said, I'm going to share the trick with you. Ensure that the oil is really hot. When I say really hot, see, as soon as I drop my slices, they've already started cooking. And as you can see, because of the gouges made, the oil is bubbling in between the gouges, so that it ensures it cooks really fast. Okay, and as soon as you see, you would realize that one of the sides is done because the oil is bubbling in between the gouges, which indicates that the side is done and needs to be flipped on to the other side. So all I'm going to do is try and flip this over. Okay, and my flame is now on the minimum. Just gonna give it 2 to 3 more minutes so that it's nice and crispy. Okay, in this way, with the same oil, ensure when you drain off the oil, put it in the kitchen towel and place it in the serving dish. And in the same way, I'm just going to fry all of them. So there you go guys, our aubergine fry is absolutely ready. It's nice and soft and tender. Sorry, I just have one to show because my students have eaten all of them. So guys, make this, it's extremely delicious, very tasty, amazing appetizer or a main course. If you're serving it as an appetizer, just chop it at the center, make 4 pieces and serve all of these like that. Enjoy!